I am. How you doing, guys?
Good.
I've got my Colombian gear on today, my Tiffin
That's
Colombian.
good. That's
Perfect. Tornado. There really isn't tornado weather, though, I don't think.
No. Yeah, that would just take the cake on how the last 365 days have gone, as if there was a tornado in the middle of a snowstorm.
my goodness.
Yeah.
Okay, I show 10 o'clock, Jimmy. So I think that we will call the meeting of the Seneca County Commissioners to order. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Please join me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Commissioner Paradiso, do you have a prayer for us this morning?
Yes. Lord, we pray for those who are traveling and working outside in the snow, for those clearing the roads. We ask for your grace for those in emergency vehicles, for those traveling. We intercede for safe journeys. For all who have to go outside, we pray for warmth. Wherever snow is falling, we request your presence. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. That's very well timed today, Commissioner Paradiso. Nikki, I need a roll call, please.
Commissioner Kirschner,
Here.
Commissioner Paradiso,
Here.
Commissioner Schuff.
Here.
Okay, so the first thing we're going to do today is that we have an annual update from Charlene Watkins from Regional Planning. Charlene, it is the floor for you.
Good morning, commissioners, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to give you an update from Regional Planning, our annual update. Give me a second here to get my screen shared and we'll move forward. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about 2020 at Regional Planning and our year in review. We completed the multi-jurisdictional comprehensive plan and distributed that to all the partners. That was a wonderful undertaking. Great to be able to be a collaborative team on that with the commissioners, the city of Tiffin, city of Fostoria, the Seneca Parks, FVDC, and TSEP. Just a wonderful group to work with and a lot of great ideas, and happy to say it's one of the very few multi-jurisdictional comprehensive plans in the state. So we're very proud to show the collaborative spirit in Seneca County with that. We did land use and zoning. That's one of our main roles here in regional planning. So we had 65 new lot splits. That's where a parcel is split into other parcels. We had 205 reviews and updates of those splits, and 58 splits were approved. So you can see that we touch those requests more than once, almost 3 times, 4 times what we are requested as a new split. We had 1 zoning amendment. We had multiple discussions and assistance to our members regarding zoning and mapping and looking at how their zoning maps look and how they'd like those changed and updated, what would be useful to them. Guidance provided to 3 potential businesses regarding land use. That is quite normal. If there's the thought of a new business coming to town, they may contact us to talk about the land use in Seneca County, how it's applicable to their business. We talk about that. Then we refer them to the most appropriate economic partner. We provided guidance to multiple realtors, auctioneers, and developers regarding potential land use of parcels. We had a lot of time spent on the CARES Act support for townships and villages. We provided technical support. So we went and visited with those townships and villages. We sat in on community partner meetings. We worked with our web provider and created a community partner basically forum so that we could gather questions and information through our website with our community partners. We helped townships and villages understand how they could use their funds. Some were thinking, oh, we don't even need this and we'll send it back, where once we sat down with them, they were able to see how they could use those funds versus sending them into the state. We have the active transportation planning and community members and partners and interested parties. So what we have been doing is communicating with those partners and interested parties, trying to keep the lines of communication open, talking to grassroots initiatives, just being there to guide them with the plan and talk about new objectives. We are working with the Sisters of St. Francis and talking to them about a potential project, and they've been a great partner working through and talking about this. We administer the home sewage treatment system grant for the health district. So that's the HSTS grant. In 2020, we had total funds spent of $154,712.70. We had 2019 dollars of $150,000 and 2020 dollars of $4,712.70. It is very typical that you run a year behind in your dollars that you're spending with this grant. So we were really excited that in 2020, we were actually able to spend 2020 dollars. That's pretty exciting. The health district really appreciated that. We had 15 new installs that were approved and completed. 5 were approved and moved to 2021 for completion just due to timing and weather. We have 6 new designs that were approved and completed, and we developed a group platform to work more collaboratively with the health district. Enabled all of us to work from home a little easier, to communicate a lot quicker, and to get through the processes when we're working on these. We do the sewer district administration for the county. So we manage the quarterly billing, customer questions, bill payments, budgeting, repairs, and coordination for 5 different sewer districts. We had a total revenue in 2020 of $470,736.54. We had total and expenses of $435,584.96. We monitored and paid the septic loan fund. We conducted the quarterly transfers for the Bascom and New Regal bond service of a total of $139,613. Maintained and monitored and advised for the placement and improvement fund. We had a little over $6,000 in expenses. So the replacement and improvement fund is kind of like a capital fund where if we have a major improvement or a major part that needs replaced, there might be funds available in that we can use as long as the piece is going to last us more than 5 years. So we've been working with Mark Zimmerman, who is the sanitary engineer and the county engineer, to make sure we're utilizing those funds properly when they have a large repair. We completed and filed all the required reports in a timely manner. We had the issue 1 OPWC County Township Road project that we administered for the county. The total investment in township roads was $1,190,198.22. We had 15 individual road projects. We received $357,059.47 from OPWC, and the townships paid $833,138.75. We've been working on the preparation for the 2021 cycle of issue 1, worked through the proposed projects, and we've started, doing all the required pre-work. The PDM, FDM, and hazard mitigation grant, I cannot say that word for love nor money, was an application process that we worked on from FEMA. We worked with the Seneca County EMA and our members to determine usefulness and funds, and we submitted 2 pre-applications, one for Tiffin and Fostoria. The pre-application for Tiffin was approved, but after further determination, we decided that it wasn't the appropriate time to do that, and Fostoria's application was not applicable after they reviewed it. We assisted the Sheriff's Department with 2 grant applications, and we have helped them apply for some new grant opportunities. That's always nice to be able to help our outlying departments in the county, and when they have grant opportunities or questions, we like to be able to assist, and they always call Stace, and then she'll always tell them to give us a call typically. So being the grant administrator for the county, we did transition of the grant management system from the Department of Justice to the new programs, which are the ASAP.gov, Diamond, and Just Grant. This has been a daunting process, as Nikki can attest to. She's part of this. The systems are very new. They're not very user-friendly, and they just keep glitching on us. But we are working through that with all the providers and making sure that we get everybody set up like they're supposed to be. We work on transportation and infrastructure over the last year. So we're an acting board member of the Transportation Improvement District. One TID award was made to the Seneca County engineer for our road projects. We've been working on the administration of that. We're finalizing it. We're updating the Transportation Improvement Priority Plan. That's a yearly project where every year we review it with our townships and villages and make sure that we have their appropriate priorities in place. And we have met with the Transportation and Infrastructure Committee and decided that it's probably best to have a really nice priority map created for each township area, and then do the villages and then do the municipalities, but that would also reflect the economic impact. That's always helpful when we're looking for different funding sources. We assisted through the state capital budget funding process. So we helped gather proposals and information. We took part in the review and discussion of the proposals. We've compiled information and submitted the request to Highbridge and maintained communication regarding funding and answering questions regarding the projects. So we're now looking into 2021, working through the project for the park project and potentially another one. We did apply for 10 different grants in August, 10 different applications in August for the OCGS 2020 coronavirus emergency supplemental funding. That total funding request was a little over 3.5 million. To all of our dismay, we really just have not heard anything besides what the current statuses are, which 3 are on hold and 7 in the applications are in executive director review. I've reached out to the OCJS and I actually have a conference call with them next week so we can find out what the statuses are and what's moving and what's going on. We also administer the Seneca County revolving loan fund for the county, and we have 2 current loans, one with Air-Cooled Engines Plus and one with OSECO. We file the appropriate reports, we market the program, we monitor the revenue, we make sure the bills are paid on time. We make sure that the customers actually are paying their bill on time. We send out all their statements. We did receive 1 new application and we worked with 2 new potential applicants. We're just working through that 1 new application of them still getting us some documents. We had a total revenue of $13,341.50. We had total expenses of $156.53. And we have a little over $74,000 in our cash position at the end of 2020, which is wonderful because we hopefully then can fund another revolving loan fund for a small business in Seneca County. We administer the CDBG grant, Community Development Grant, for the Seneca County Commissioners. So part of that is the program year 2019. We did fair housing, education, outreach, and complaints. So it was a tricky year this year to do fair housing, outreach, and education because as we all know, we really couldn't go out and about. So not being able to go out and about means how do we do this to make it more user-friendly, make it so we're still educating the community. And we talked with the ODSA regarding that, and they said, put it on your website, share those links, give that information out. That's the best way to do it. And we were doing that. We've done outreach where we've provided material to different entities, had the fair housing information at the fair tent, and we've also taken a few complaints over the year. We completed the Bloomville sidewalk project. That was a $55,757.50 project. That is over by Beagley Park. We helped 11 households with rent and deposits in the amount of $9,400, and that was to keep them from going homeless or to get them housed if they were homeless. We exceeded that goal by 2. Thank you to the Fostoria United Way and First Call for Help, as they were a huge partner on this, and most activities were done in the Fostoria area. We're working on the Millmore Park upgrades. So there's a lovely picture here of the vault restroom that has been installed and completed. We're now working on the covered pavilion, which is half installed because you can't lay concrete when it's snowing and the ground's freezing. So that's the next portion. We actually did an amendment. So we're going to put in some fencing backstops, some cast iron grills, and some more concrete around the bleachers. So that's wonderful as well. With me, my controls are not working. Okay. So we also prepared for CDBG program year 2021. So during 2020, the Ohio Development Services Agency said, hey, it looks like we're going to revamp our program. And you can see from the chart here, they were looking at changing how the allocations were done, making things more competitive. We continue to communicate that information with the commissioners and our partners, so everybody's aware. We ask people to provide public comment and to talk to ODSA, because if you eliminate the allocation program, it's really hard for our small rural communities to meet the match requirements and make themselves competitive. We attended the virtual meetings. We did everything we could to advocate, and we have determined that the voices were heard, and ODSA has said we are not changing our program in 2021. We are going to extend it as is until 2023. So that's wonderful news. So we're starting to ramp up for the 2021 program and get applications going. We created an online pre-application submission portal. That's the See Seneca Grow portal on our website. We ask that, you can submit an idea, you can submit an application, you can call me with questions. We're glad to help, but this is a great way to involve our community and get more information. Deep breath. One of our other great projects is the ODNR Nature Works Grant for Attica Area Veterans Memorial Park. We were able to secure $83,380 from that grant. And we're helping the village of Attica and the American Legion over there install a brand new park where the old Eagles building used to be. So we set up all the required forms. We promoted a great communication system between the Legion, village, and ODNR. Helped the village establish all the requirements. We ordered required hard supplies, made sure the prices were appropriate, made sure delivery was where it was supposed to go to. And then because the village of Attica was just unable to have some funds allocated towards this, and it is a reimbursement grant, the regional planning board decided we would provide a $42,000 interest-free loan to the village to assist with the project that had to be repaid back by the end of 2021. So this helps them spend $42,000, they get reimbursed, they spend the rest, they get their final reimbursement, they can pay us back. This is just another great way we can help one of our partners. It's the first time we've ever done something like this, and we hope that we can continue that as we move forward in the future. We coordinated with the volunteers and contractors, and as you can see, they have their flags installed in these lovely pictures here. So that's a great moment. There are a lot of wonderful volunteers over there doing a lot of hard work, and they had to take a break for the winter, but they'll be back at it in the spring. So we helped facilitate the American Electric Power EV charging station grant. It's a reimbursement grant for the city of Tiffin. They received $150,000. So if you look at parking lot 7, which is directly across from our office, over towards the wall of Supance and Howard's law firm, you'll see 2 brand new EV charging stations that have been installed. They are not functional yet, but they have been installed. Their inspection is scheduled for Tuesday, and then once the inspection is complete, if everything goes well, they should be activated within the next week or so. So that's a great and exciting project. We also garnered $8,000 from the White Family Charitable Foundation towards this project. We've coordinated and collaborated with the installer, ABM, AEP, City of Tiffin, Turner Electric placement and installation, and we provided guidance and support. I'll say it again, like I say it every time, a special thank you needs to go to the city administrator, Dale Thornton, for being such a great partner and helping us with this project. We really could not have done it without him. He has just been amazing to work with and help with coordination. So we just really appreciate all his hard work on this as well. So there's even more that we've done. In the city of Fostoria, the mayor and I started talking, and we thought, well, let's start talking about community development in Fostoria and what are the steps and what can we do? So we spent some time with the city of Fostoria to discuss their projects. We actually have 5 potential projects developed. They're just, ideas and things that we're working through. We're working on a review and application plan so that we can determine, what's the best funding source to go after. And it's really opened up some great communication between the mayor, the safety service director, and the economic development board in Fostoria. So this has been a lot of fun trying to determine their needs and work with them to make sure that we can meet their goals. We've also promoted our 2-way communication with stakeholders and citizens. So we've had some social media posts, videos, pictures. It was really nice to be able to do a video of the vault restroom being installed in Melmore at the park. That was really well received, and it's kind of neat to see how those go in. We had a lot of website updates. We attend county commissioners meetings, our stakeholder meetings, which would be village council meetings, township trustee meetings, city council meetings. We did press releases. We are always and continuously fostering the support of partnerships and collaboration in Seneca County. We did our first member and partner survey, and we posted all stakeholder public meetings for the year on our online calendar. You will actually find those are on there for 2021 as well for Seneca County. So if you go to Regional Planning's website and click the calendar, you'll find them. So an exciting number to see is the total grant dollars brought to Seneca County in 2020 was $854,884.67. We always like to see money coming back into the county. So this was a great number to see, and we're very excited about it. So we would just want to fill you in on our member survey and what that looked like. For the first survey done, we had 20 responses. That was great. Our overall rank was very good at 45%, which is 9 out of 20. 7 out of 20 said excellent. Communication and program communication was very good. Understanding of programs was very good. And then we go down to value of service was excellent at 7 out of 20 and very good of 7 out of 20, those tied. And then availability of staff was very good at 42.11%. So we're very excited about that. Just give you a few highlights from our survey. If you attended our annual meeting, it's much more in depth from that, but we're just going to give you a few highlights as for the commissioners. So the importance of planning and development areas to focus on in 2021 for our member survey, the top 3 responses out of 12 were grant administration, continuing to administer grants for the county, as well as other members when asked to do so, encouraging continued collaboration between county, townships, villages, and municipalities, and the community development block grant, promoting the funding, educating communities in the grant application process. The lowest ranked item out of the 12 scored at 2.95 out of 5. And that was doing the Sandusky River Water Trail development. So that was continuing working with regional partners to develop and implement Sandusky River Water Trail. So that was the least concern. The top 5 programs or activities ranked least, most to least important from our survey were assist with the county's economy through economic development grants, revolving loan fund dollars, enterprise zones, and community reinvestment areas. We will always continue to help with those legacy programs and partner with our economic development corps to make sure that we're working together and getting the word out about how wonderful Seneca County is for economic development. Grant administration was the second most important, striving to balance the development with the guidelines adopted in our comprehensive land use plan, oversight of the county's transportation improvement district, and reviewing and advising on township zoning rules. So you can see there's a lot of great things here that our members want us to work on. What would we like to do in 2021? So we're expecting to have a quality team. We are working on a revised and developed strategic plan. Thank you to Commissioner Paradiso for sitting on that team. There's going to be an emphasis on communication with stakeholders and partners. So you're going to see more press releases, more communication going out, more of what we do, probably some more quarterly reports, good information coming. Checking in on the multi-jurisdictional comprehensive plan, getting those statuses and updates, working with our partners to make sure things are going smoothly. Working on the pre-application for the community development block grant for 2021. State capital budget grant administration and coordination. We have received money for, well, we've been awarded 2 different projects, so we're looking over those and, starting that process. Continued grant research and development, zoning reviews with zoning inspectors and township trustees and council persons. That always includes land use and lot splits. HSTS grant administration, the sewer district administration, revolving loan fund and legacy program developments. Continued partnerships and support with 2 economic development corps in the county. Continuing our collaboration, fostering relationships between all entities in Seneca County. And our goal, we would always strive to be a one-stop location for all things land use, planning, zoning, and rural community development. So at this time, I'd like to thank the commissioners for giving us the opportunity to provide you with an annual report, give you an update on what we've done, where we see us going, and always thank you for your support of regional planning. We feel in the past 5 years, we've really made a difference, and we want to continue to strive to do that. Thank you very much for your time.
Okay, thank you, Charlene. I have a couple of questions. You put up a number of grants that came back to the county of somewhere in the range of 884,000, if my memory serves me.
Mm-hmm.
Can you break that down as to what those grants were and how the regional planning was involved in getting us that money?
Sure can. So if we go back into the year in review, you'll know that we received $357,059.47 from OPWC for the issue 1 project. We work with the townships to make sure that we have all the appropriate documentation to submit, that their match requirements are what are going to be feasible for the programs, and making sure that we are meeting and exceeding the goals. And then we administer that grant and make sure that we do all the contract and bidding on that one. Then
So is that CDBG money? That is issue one money as it relates to,
that is OPWC issue one money. So that's money that comes from OPWC for the road projects that we administer for the county.
is Mark Zimmerman the one that sends those applications in? Or is he the one that funds those
No,
projects?
No, regional planning gathers the information from all the townships and we compile it and submit it to Mark. He does do estimates for them. And then they're ranked in the county and then they go off to our district for review and potential funding. Tony is part of that team.
yeah, Mike, I can make a comment. Mayor Motz is on the phone. Both he and I are part of that board. And what happens is we entertain applications throughout the county. And Mark Zimmerman chairs that committee. We score all the applications. Our district in Mansfield, then there are like 8 counties that come together and projects are then chosen and awarded. Once they're awarded, in Charlene's case, the application going in, and then once it's awarded, the paperwork follow-up she would take care of. In Mayor Motz's case, you know, the city engineer would be involved. Fostoria, same thing. So the various entities that are awarded the money do have paperwork, and it's not automatic that we get the money, but you know, that's where the process comes through on an annual basis as far as scoring goes. I don't know if Mayor Motz wants to comment or not, but that's kind of a summary of the process.
Okay.
If you want me to talk, Commissioner, I can, yeah.
Sure. Go right ahead.
You've stated it very accurately. That goes through the OPWC Commission, which are state dollars. Through, it's been called different things over the year. Usually it's either issue 1 or issue 2 funds. Our district gets millions of dollars, but there's, I'm going to say something like 12 to 16 different counties in our district.
Okay.
And then that money gets divvied up based off of grants. So I sit on the local review panel. We score those grant applications. Then it goes to the district review panel, which I also sit on that. At the end of the day, we've been extremely successful in getting a lot of these projects awarded here in Seneca County. And I think a lot of that is due to the hard work of Mark Zimmerman and the good grant applications that are submitted to bring a lot of funding back here. So you've stated pretty accurately how it's all done. So I don't really have anything else to add.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, go ahead, Charlene, then. The rest of the money, how much of it is CDBG money?
Let me flip to the CDBG screen and I can tell you. Give me just 1 second. So of the CDBG program, we had a total. Give me a second here. We had a total of $85,932.50 that came in, and that does not include the administration and fair housing money, which would be another 20,000. So about 105,000 that came in, 106 that came in from CDBG money in 2020. And that's
Okay,
an allocation that's, you know, you feel like allocation is a guarantee, but it's not always a guarantee. So, you know, you have to have a good project to get the money, which we had good projects.
So that takes us to about 450.
Then we have the HSTS grant, and that is funded by the Ohio EPA to the Seneca County General Health District. And then that comes to us to administer. We do all the intake for applications. We do all of the bidding.
Who applies for those funds initially?
The Seneca County General Health District does, with a little bit of our information. We help with a little bit of stuff on that for administration.
Okay.
So that was a total of $154,712.70. And Let me
Okay.
flip through my screens because it takes a minute to get through all of them. That was CDBG. And then we had 83,380 that came from ODNR for the park in Attica. Regional Planning wrote the grant for that. We did all the coordinated meetings with the Legion and the village. So we did all of that and we were able to garner that application and garner those funds. And then we were able to secure $150,000 for the city of Tiffin for the EV charging station through AEP and another $8,000 from the White Community Charitable Fund. We wrote all those applications and we administered them. And I believe that is it.
Okay. Well, I'd like to talk just a moment about the Office of Criminal Justice Services, the $3.5 million.
Sure.
Yeah, these numbers pale a little bit compared to that $3.5 million.
Right.
So that grant process has been ongoing since May of 20. Is that what am I right in that?
It's actually been going on before that. We were not involved in the first round, didn't really have the time or the feasibility to research it during the first round of funding. When it got to where they were ready to accept second round, we were able to research and we put some information out to our partners that might potentially qualify. We asked them to have information back to us, and then we had to hold that date for some other partners who had more information to give us. And then we submitted funding requests to the OCJS in August. They then funded the second and third rounds. We just really have not gotten anything from it, and I sent off a follow-up to our regional rep, an email to her requesting information. And we actually have a conference call set up for next week so they can explain to me what's going on. Because at this point, I feel like it's drug on too long and we should have had some decision on our applications. We definitely don't think we'll get all the money, but we would like to know if we're going to get some of that money. It's just very frustrating for us and our partners not to know the status, and that drives, that's a big drive for us, is we would like to know what's going on with that program.
When was the first round of applications submitted on those?
That we submitted?
No, one were the first ones that were sent by people's.
I would have to go in and dig into that to look for you, Commissioner. I do not know off the top of my head.
Okay, well, that's just, it's a focus that we've been, a conversation that we've had now for almost a year. And I just wondered, how close we were to getting some determination about those funds, because it's significant dollars.
Right.
Again, the rest of the stuff kind of pales in comparison to that request.
It sure does.
Okay.
And I'm very concerned with that as well. Stacy knows as well. I've also sent off a request to Representative Click's office to get us a status on this, because I feel it's drug on too long. We should know what's going on. And unfortunately, our office cannot force an answer, but I feel that at this point, we should be able to get some information to share with our partners. It's just a little ridiculous to me that we haven't heard anything else.
Okay. Commissioner Schuff or Commissioner Paradiso, any questions?
No questions from me. Thank you, Shirley.
None here. Thank you.
Okay.
Looking forward to working with all of you during the next year.
So continuing on with the meeting, I guess that we need to accept a motion to approve the digital audio video recording from Thursday, February 11th.
I'll make that motion.
Tyler. Okay, Nikki, roll call if you will.
Yep. Commissioner Schuff,
Yes.
Commissioner Paradiso,
Yes.
Commissioner Kirschner.
Yes. Moving on to the county administrator's report. Ms. Wilson, what do you have?
One thing I'll add, since Charlene talked about the EV charging station, I think at the regional planning committee meeting, she had mentioned this as well, and you had asked about the counties, if we could track, we could see how often it's being used. And so I talked to Jake and he said we could do that. So, these numbers might not mean anything, but I just thought I'd kind of show you You know, it shows which day it's been used, how often it's been used. So I thought it was a neat little tool. He said he could start sending us updates, but it's started from when we put it in, you know, August of 2020. You could see the usage we had, and you know, we get quite a bit of usage. Ours is not a fast charger like the city's putting in, but you know, it's been used a couple hours a day. So it was interesting. It was interesting to see the numbers, and you guys had asked about it. So I thought I'd bring that up and let you guys see that it is being used. And I think this column here is for like the kilowatts that it's being used. So currently we're not charging for this station since it's a slow charger. And we did not pay to put this in. Buckeye IT Services put this in. So a little bit of information there.
Good, thank you for that.
Thank you.
And okay, I want to give you just an update on sales tax. See if I can find my spreadsheet here. Oops. Too many pages open. Okay, just kind of give you an update on where we're sitting at sales tax. We got the most recent numbers. And as you remember, we used to always kind of consider this 2 months behind, but as details came in and they was breaking down numbers a little differently for us, we found out that it's anywhere between 2 and 3 months behind. So this could be, you know, from some of November, some of December. But as you can tell, we're at another relatively good sales tax numbers. You know, people went shopping at Christmas, and I think, you know, unfortunately being stuck at home, a lot of online sales were being done, and we get the sales tax regardless where they purchase it from. So
Yeah, but you can't help but notice there that March, which obviously reflects the Christmas numbers every year, has had a significant increase.
yeah, and we'll get those numbers in next month, probably around the 15th, usually when we get our numbers.
Right, I mean,
but I just thought I'd share those numbers. Hopefully it stays positive.
yeah.
And I think that's all I had for today.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner reports, Commissioner Shaw.
Thanks, Mike. Yeah, did the county coroner here with WTTF this morning, gave some different updates, talked about Senate Bill 52, how some of the money got distributed through COVID-19. So gave a little update here to the public. Also talked about emergency medical services, highlighted on a few things there, but I really don't have a whole lot much to report on. There's a few things that I've been working on the past 2 weeks. Not quite ready to go public here with it yet, but just buttoning up a few details here, but I'll have more here for you guys next week.
Okay, thank you, Tyler. Commissioner Paradiso.
Yes, just have a few things. Been a busy week. I'd like to bring up an issue, a safety services issue that's been brought to my attention. And this has to do with the railroad tracks between 635 and State Route 12. That's 592. According to our engineer, that is the busiest road in Seneca County. So 592 has had a lot of improvements, a lot of upgrades, huge truck route connecting Fostoria, bringing trucks into the city of Tiffin. Evidently, for the last couple months, there has been an increased number of trains parked and blocking not only 592, but blocking it for a long time, as much as 5-6 hours. So the township trustees out there, along with Mark Zimmerman, have been in conversations. They've made attempts to talk to Norfolk and Southern, and really nothing's happening. So there's a extreme frustration. Trucks, semis are forced to stop and then back up and try to jockey around narrow county roads, and it's just unacceptable. So it's been brought to my attention. I'm going to bring it to the rest of the commissioners' attention, and the public's attention. And so we will be waiting on the engineer to get back with us. We'll involve our county prosecutor, our sheriff, and others. And I'd like to see if we can get this fixed. It's just unacceptable. So I don't know if anybody wants to make any comments now on that issue, but.
Well, I do, Tony. I appreciate you talking to the trustees out there. As you started out with, this is a real safety service issue too. We're talking about fire and ambulance. And I'm not sure, I know that they can give them a ticket for blocking the crossing, but that ticket pales in comparison to what they think they're gonna be able to get done, they being the railroad. So we do, as you mentioned, need to talk with Derek about the maximum amount of penalty that we can charge, and then, potential other types of charges that can be issued by them blocking that thoroughfare. As you say, it is a major route, and that potentially, from my recollection with our plans, is one of the quicker routes, and eventually the route from Tiffin to connect with I-75.
Yeah, right.
To also improve that road. And certainly that would be a huge issue because there would be more trucks taking that route. So I feel bad for commerce, but my major concern is safety services. If we need to get somebody that needs help and we can't get there, that's not a good thing. So I understand the railroad has deflected some of their business from one place to another, but that's their issue. And we need to figure out a way to get that train broke at that intersection, or to move it out of there as quickly as possible. So I concur with your concerns, and I do think that we need to act quickly and decisively in trying to get this resolved. I know there's frustration trying to get to somebody at the railroad. They kind of deflect it, and we need to get their attention.
Yes.
How long has this been going on for, Tony?
Several months for sure. And, I've traveled that road quite a bit, and it never really hit me, but I have noticed more and more trains and had to drive around, and it's just, but I guess I didn't realize how often, how long this has been going on. And, there's tanker trucks trying to back up on that road to reroute around. It's crazy. And then, you make a good point, Commissioner Kirschner, with the economic impact this could have on our county is, I know the county engineer put $1 million+ in that road, and we're counting on that road to get business commerce in and out, and let alone along with safety. So I won't talk any more about that. More to come. I've got a list of partners that we've made phone calls to, and we're waiting on the engineer to put some things together, and the prosecutor. We'll keep you informed. Secondly, I'd like to just mention that I had a conversation from Dr. Laura Kagi from Seneca School. She called in reference to rural broadband. She was at a conference in Huron County, and this is a hot topic. I know Tim Lynch, one of our township trustees, has talked to Charlene at Regional Planning, our friends at North Central Electric, Bascom. There's been a lot of conversation. So I reached out to Representative Click. He was glad I called. He is going to put together a town hall kind of meeting. And so I think this is good. The governor passed in his budget, legislature passed $200 million of broadband rural monies. And so I spoke with Charlene before the call. We're going to try to get everybody together so we can have a greater impact in our county instead of a bunch of little, bunch of smaller efforts. So I was pleased to hear Representative Click, and I want to thank Laura Kagi for reaching out to us to trigger this thought. And then finally, I want to bring up EMS again. I know most meetings I bring it up. I had the opportunity to attend coordinators meeting yesterday that Ken Majors hosted. And it's amazing how much I've been learning. I've been making my rounds to the different districts. This is a process. I guess we're in a fact-finding mode. We're doing a lot of listening. I'm asking Stacy questions all the time. She goes, "It's okay. I'm glad you're asking." As we continue to learn and get clarification, and I think it's something that I've come to enjoy. It takes up a lot of time, but I guess I didn't realize how much I don't know, and so it's been very helpful to me. I mean, at some point we will have to make some decisions, take into account risk reward in these decisions, but the process now is to have these monthly meetings, all of us to continue to talk and listen. And I appreciate the transparency. Every meeting there's a couple questions that come out that you really didn't think about. And it's just all kind of coming together. So I wanted to make that comment. So personally, I appreciate everyone's support, and I just encourage more and more people to continue to come forward and talk and listen and help us do the right thing with EMS. I guess that'll conclude my report for today. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner Paradiso. So I would like to discuss kind of a segue from Administrator Wilson's report as it relates to increased sales tax and anticipated increased sales tax. We had put a hold on county employees' salary increases. And last year, when we anticipated decreased income due to the coronavirus situation, we cut a number of people's hours and went to 4 days in a number of places. So fairness would dictate that we would anticipate some increased sales tax numbers, that we ought to talk about reinstating our position of trying to take care of our folks in the form of raises. So having said that, I don't think we want to make a decision today, but I would like the other two commissioners to think about three things that I've kind of considered, and I've had some conversations with some of the electeds about. And that is maybe a 2.5% increase that would be retro to the first of the year, 3% increase from this point forward, or a 2% increase with a 1% incentive bonus, if you will, for the entire staff. Now, breaking that down and trying to quantify it, for every 1% increase in salaries for Seneca County, it's approximately $100,000. So you can do your math and see what the amount is that we're going to talk about. Again, I don't know that we need to make a decision today, and I don't expect us to, but I would like to get some input from some of the electeds and or some of the staff as to how they think it ought to be handled and what their thoughts are regarding the best way to do that. If you folks have any thoughts about that.
I like it. I think we discussed earlier that we would visit this the end of March. I'm all in favor of moving that timeline forward and visiting that now. So maybe we can take action next meeting, put some thought to the three things you said, and I'd like to make a couple calls. I do want to add that and we talked about this last year so that the public understands, if we were to grant a 2 or 3% increase, that does not necessarily translate into 2 or 3% increase to every individual. Those dollars are an increase in the payroll line for the various electeds. And then the various electeds have the opportunity to distribute that increased payroll. And we realize, I realize that there are new hires, there are maybe some senior people that have been around a while, maybe there's some people moving positions here and there, maybe there's a vacancy that one of the electeds doesn't want to replace but would like to add more money to some of their staff. So all those things would be up to the electeds, but what we would be doing is just increasing their payroll line, giving them the opportunity to do that. So we're not really taking it down to that level, but we are increasing the payroll line. So I want everybody to realize that's in Seneca County, how that works.
Yep. So that's good. So they can manage their own offices. That is.
But
Exactly
I like
right.
the idea, Commissioner, and let's take action next meeting.
That's good. Okay. Any other old business?
Yeah, just a quick comment, Mike. I'm also open or in favor of having those discussions and kind of weighing out some things. I think the employees for the county have done a great job in weathering the storm and everything. But I guess one thing, I just like to kind of echo this. I think it's important that we keep a strong rainy day fund, keep a strong carryover. So with that in mind, I have certain numbers in my mind of what I'd like to see those numbers to be, but we also need to take care of our employees.
Okay, good comments, Tyler. And I absolutely agree with you that we need to continue to fund that rainy day fund. Budget stabilization fund. Okay. Any other old business? Okay, Stacy, we'll go on to new business then.
Sure. My screen here. I have a few supplemental appropriations. I have one from Soil and Water Conservation. Let me get my little thing out of the way so I can read my screen. Doing a supplemental appropriation into their equipment line for $4,000, an appropriation $4,950 for their other expense. I have a request from the sheriff's office. This is his field carry fund. He's asking to put $25,000 into supplies. As you remember, the budgets were submitted for the sheriff's office prior to Sheriff Fred Stevens coming into office. So this was not budgeted. He has also became aware that there are additional allowable expenses that the legislature has changed. Before they couldn't purchase guns, ammo, different things out of the fund. It was really restrictive, but they have since changed that. So he is asked to put an additional $25,000 into his supply line. I have a supplemental appropriation into the museum's contract service line. If you remember last year, 2020, the museum got a grant for $7,926 from the TEACH program, the Tiffin Community Foundation, to purchase some glass shelvings for our glass room. 2020 COVID hit, and those did not get purchased. Now the Barnsteinzer Foundation has taken over. They reached out to the trust to find out if it would be okay if they use those for some different projects, which they have agreed. So I have a letter from them saying that it is allowable. So we are going to appropriate that $7,926 and then contract that back out to the Barnsteinzer Museum Foundation for them to use for the approved projects that they had agreed on. And nope, I think that was all of those I got. And I have a resolution setting time, date, and place to receive bids for the farm lease. Let me bring it up so I know how many acreage. The 146.1, is that right, Nikki?
Yep, that's correct.
We'll be taking bids for that on March 18th, 2021 at 10:15 a.m.
Is this the same discussion we had last week about carving some of that out
Yep.
in the
Yep,
event? Okay.
Yep, we took an acre out for the engineer. He actually added some footage behind his shop and has already got the fence put up. So we eliminated that out of there. And then I have a resolution authorizing the contract with RS Associates LLC, doing business as Resource Solutions Associates on behalf of the Seneca County Emergency Management Agency. And I think John is on the line if you had any questions about that. I think that's all the resolutions I have.
Okay, well, after 6 years, you think I would know. But when we are submitted supplemental appropriations, do all those appropriations come through the commissioner's office, or are there any requests made of any other electeds that they can approve or disapprove any supplemental appropriations?
Nope, all supplemental appropriations come through the commissioner's office to be approved. Departments can't approve or deny. I guess they can deny their own, but they can't deny anybody else's. So yep, that's the commissioner's decision for supplemental appropriations.
Thank you.
I see John Spar on. John, would you like to make any comment?
No, not except to explain what that money is for. Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead, please.
The contract, I'm sorry, not the money. The contract is for starting the revision to the county's emergency operations plan. We're using Resource Solutions, the same company that did our mitigation plan. And we're going to do it in 6-month periods, doing about a quarter of the plan each time. So we'll be reaching out and talking to different departments in the county, the commissioners, economic considerations, et cetera, over the course of the next 2 years, really, as we get the emergency operations plan back up to the level where we want to see it.
Good.
Thank you, John. Okay, without further discussion, I will accept the motion to approve the supplemental appropriations and setting time for bids and authorizing contracts.
So moved.
Thank you. Thank you. Any additional discussion? Hearing none. Nikki?
Commissioner Schuff,
Yes.
Commissioner Paradiso,
Yes.
Commissioner Kirschner.
Yes. Okay, Jimmy, we are going to need to go into executive session, and it may be a little while. So I think what we'll do is open up to public comment at this point before we go into executive session, so folks don't have to wait for us to get back.
That sounds great. Yeah, do you want me to do the reminder?
Sure.
Okay, so if you want to come forward during public comment, you can hit the unmute button on your screen, or if you called through, you can go ahead and just punch in *6 to unmute your line and come forward now. Thanks.
Okay, do we have any input today?
Hey team, TSAP doesn't have any updates since last week. You had to hear a whole bunch from us other than continuing to encourage people to fill out the survey that we have out for the businesses to help us gather data. But do you guys have any questions for us this week for any members of the team?
No.
I'm not certain. I don't think so. Doesn't sound like it. Thank you, Audrey, as always, for being here. I don't know if the folks from High Bridge would like to make any comments today.
Hi, commissioners. We are still sort of working with CCAO to identify, some of their priorities. I know indigent burial is one, but the budget process is starting to kind of kick into full swing. They're doing informal budget hearings. Language is drafted now, so we are standing by at the ready to help as needed.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so the purpose of anything else out there? I guess I should wait just a moment.
Hey, Mike, I do have one thought real quick back to Spencer. And I just want to connect the dots or I know John and Stacy are on the phone. So this has to do with our ADA health department project. You know what I'm talking about, Spencer?
I don't know that I'm familiar. I
Okay,
apologize.
so we there's a renovation we are in the process of doing, or we would like to do with the health department.
Okay.
We did not make the last round of funding due to the cutbacks. We were awarded Opportunity Park. Okay. The commissioners, along with maintenance, feel we need to really attack this project sooner than later for a lot of reasons. And we paused because I believe Mike mentioned that one of the objectives of this is to create ADA accessibility to our Board of Health and to that building. And there seemed to be some possible grant money available for those kind of things. So I think it's really important we try to connect those dots as we move forward with our planning. We would be willing, I think, to slow the process down if we were able to, plug into that type of funding.
Yeah, Mike Ditto did send me some links on some grants that he thought would be we'd be eligible for. He sent me those links, and I had sent them to Charlene to look into for us.
Okay, so then that's kind of what we're doing. We're kind of on hold till we hear back on that funding, right?
Yes.
Okay, got it.
Okay, thanks for those comments.
Thank you.
Okay, so I will accept the motion to go into executive session for the purpose of employees
Compensation.
compensation. Okay,
So moved.
thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Nikki?
Commissioner Schuff,
Yes.
Commissioner Paradiso,
Yes.
Commissioner Kirschner.
Yes. So we will go into executive session now. We do not expect any action from executive session, but we will be back in to adjourn this meeting. For now, we will be going into another screen and do the executive session. So thank you all for attending. You're welcome to hang on, but I can't tell you how long it's going to be.